All right, welcome back. Let's continue on with vectors. So what we're doing with vectors in this class, it's not going to be terribly complicated. It's just kind of the basics. Once you get into like calculus and physics, then you're going to start doing a whole lot of other stuff with them. But for now, it's just basic stuff. So like example 3, vector v has an initial point p and a terminal point q. So write v in the form of ai plus bj. So what it's asking for is the position vector. So you just need to subtract the x-coordinates, and you want to go in the order of terminal minus initial. So the final minus where you started. And it wants you to write it in the form ai plus bj. So just for practice, we're going to put it in algebraic form as well, just so you can see that. So it'd be 6 minus a negative 3. And then for the y's, 5 minus 2. So the algebraic vector would be 9 comma 3. And then to translate it into ai plus bj, so like a combination of the standard unit vectors, it's pretty easy. Whatever number is the first, the 9, that goes next to I. And then the second number, that's going to go next to the j. So this is your A and that's your B. Okay, example 4. Find the magnitude of the vector sum of v plus u if v is 6i plus 2j and u is 3i minus 4j. So what's the length or the magnitude of the vector sum? So you got to figure out the vector sum. Order of operations still comes into play. So you got to do the inside first, and then we can deal with the outside operation. So the sum of vector v and u, you have 6i plus 2j for vector v, and then you're going to add in 3 minus 4, 3i minus 4j. And it's just like adding up like terms. So add up the i's, add up the j's, and then there's your vector sum. So for the magnitude of it, it's going to be the square root, and just take the number in front of the I, or the first number in the algebraic vector, either one, and you're going to square it. And then take the second number, the number in front of the j, and square it. And then 81 plus 4 is usually 85 under the square root. Oops. So the second part, is this the same as the magnitude of u plus the magnitude of v? Well, in order to find that out, you got to calculate them. So the magnitude of vector u, square root, you're going to take the 3, square it. Take the negative 4, square that. So it's going to come out to 5. And then the magnitude of vector v, take the 6 and square it. Take the 2 and square it. So you get 2 root 10. So 5 plus 2 root 10 would be the sum of the magnitude of u and the magnitude of v, which is not equal to the square root of 85. So is this the same? No. So in other words, you cannot split, if you have a vector sum, you can't split it apart and do the length of each one separately. You got to find the sum and then do the length. So keep following order of operations. Okay, example 5, find 3v minus 4w. So what I usually do with this, I'll take the 3 and just multiply it straight to the vector v, or whatever it told me to. And then same thing for the -4. I'm going to stick W right next to that. And then we're going to distribute. So multiply the 3 into the vector. I plus 15j. And then distribute the -4. So plus 8i minus 12j. And then it's just like what we did earlier with that vector sum in example 4. So just add up your like terms. 13i. Oops, 13i. Wow. 17i plus 3j. And the reason why I like doing this is because sometimes you get going too fast and you start to lose signs. I kept saying this while we were in class, but one of the biggest mistakes that people do in this class in calculus is just arithmetic. And so they start to lose the negative, or they forget that they put the negative in there already, and so they put it in twice. So if you write it like this, it kind of avoids that. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can do in your head. Some people can just do this in their head and get an answer. Just be careful with your signs. Okay, and then the last part, what are the horizontal and vertical components of V? This one should be pretty easy. You just gotta look at the vector and write an answer down. So the horizontal would be the number in front of the I. So that's 3. And then the vertical is the number sitting in front of the J. So the 5. And the only tricky thing is on this one is make sure you're looking at the right vector. So just make sure if they want for vector V, you look at vector V. I see that a lot of times too. Like you know exactly what to do, but you're looking at the wrong vector. Okay, so that is it for section 9.4. So check out the homework and let me know if you have any questions.